Well, I'd say that's a pretty decent view.
Yeah. This is not a typical Naples travel guide. Today, we are taking you for a day trip to the west side of Naples with public transport. If you are looking for more unusual things to do and unusual places to go in Naples, which involve some walking and hiking, and they are beyond Naples city center, Pompeii, Sorrento, or Amalfi Coast, this video is the right place for you. First thing first, let's take a look at our unique itinerary of the West Naples day trip. For simplicity, we divided the day trip into two parts. For part 1, we started at the Naples city center. First, we took a metro line 2 to a city called Bagnoli, where we then transferred to a bus C1 to get closer to our first destination of the day, which is the Gaiola Island or Gaiola Underwater Park. There is a cat welcoming you.
The welcoming cats.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no?
It's like the Guardian. Text it.
There it is.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Very nice.
Gaiola Island is also called Gaiola Underwater Park, and here is why. Good morning,
Naples and suburbs. So we finally made it to our destination on the edge, well, kind of on the west side of Naples. And yeah, so the west side? Yes,
Yeah, west side.
west side of Naples. And yeah, so we've come here today to look at this. So this is quite striking, but we also thought it deserves some sort of explanation. It's not just the building with the bridge that you see behind us that we're here to see, but just to be in the presence of the bit of coastal area here. Because of volcanic activity over the 3,000 or so years that there's been human habitation here, a great deal of buildings that were along the coast in this section of Naples and farther to the west subsided underneath the Mediterranean. And so there's a tentative World Heritage Site to kind of encompass that information. So it's really kind of cool. So there's all kinds of archaeological sites under the water here. So as striking as the buildings are here, it's actually being in the presence of the water and the archaeological sites under that water that's actually brought us here today. So it's really neat to see this. But this building is a good striking example as well. You could just see that people were living in this area a long time. They placed this building here. There was other buildings down below, and then I guess the water level overcame the land as the land subsided due to volcanic activity, leaving us with this striking image of buildings out in what is now an island, and then the other buildings and such underneath the water here, which you can kind of see some of the outlines. If you look at Google Earth, you can see some of that. So there's some interesting things like that, but there's a whole section of the coastline from here to the west that has this kind of archaeological sites. They're very well protected. So they want to make it into a World Heritage Site. So we just want to check it out. But on a side note, this area is super popular from what we can tell, especially in the summer for beachgoers. There's a beach on the one side and lots of people come here to swim and enjoy, and I totally understand why.
But it is
it's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, but it is a protected area.
It is a protected area. We have to kind of sign in, and there's a little bit of formality.
So even though it is a beach, it is a
protected beach, protected area. So yeah, so we just signed up online and then got our pass. They have the reason I think is because of crowd control. They have a 200 person a day quota. But from what we can see, there's less than 10 people here today. So it's very much not an issue today. But that's because it's the middle of the winter and no one's swimming, or very few people will be swimming. So it's very quiet. But if you look at Google Street View, stuff like this, you'll see that it's just full of folks. So I understand why they have a quota, and why they have a sign-in sheet. So yeah, but it's beautiful, and yeah, we're quite pleased to be able to take it in ourselves, even though we're not going to go swimming. Although it's beautiful today, it is quite nice and warm. So this is our first stop on our exploring around the west side of Naples, and our first tentative World Heritage Site here in Naples too, which is really nice. So nice bonus. So let's take a look.
Bye-bye. For part 2, we took the bus C1 back to Bagnoli. Then we took the tram in Bagnoli to a place called Fusaro. After we arrived at Fusaro, the rest of the day we were on foot. And our final destination of the day is a place called Miseno.
Let's go.
This is fast.
Oh, they went. I go. Oh. So where are we now?
I think we are in...
Still in Naples.
Yeah, which is a city called Bacoli.
Yeah, so we left the other site.
Yeah.
And we went on the bus
tram.
And the tram.
A bus and a tram.
And then we found ourselves farther west in Naples, and we're just exploring the city. We came across some ruins, another archaeological site. More ruins up in the distance. And we're actually just heading for a castle just around the corner. So we'll see if we can find the castle.
Find the castle.
So we continue to wander. And there's some art too. So we think we found our castle, and we just gotta find our way there. So, just wanted to point out this crater is part of a volcano. Not just any volcano, but a super volcano. It's part of the Justice League of Volcanoes that helps out when it's needed to relieve pressure from the earth. So, one super volcano. The whole area kind of is getting serious. There's all kinds of volcanic activity along the whole ridge here and around us. So anyways, but this kind of, you can kind of see a crater type section set up here in the background. Kind of looks like that. And that whole area there has volcanic activity as well as here, obviously. This kind of thing, because we're still very close. And another thing we saw when we were traveling is another thermal bath. But thermal bath, which makes sense, right? Thermal bath as a result of thermal activity, geothermal. We're all connected, right? So hence the thermal bath. Very good.
We are going to cross this by foot. Is this a Roman tunnel?
This is kind of cold in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just reaching the top of our hike. Here's hoping a half decent sunset. Wow, see it down. Well, I'd say that's pretty decent view.
Yeah.
So just to look at the places we went today. We started off across the bay, out this way. And then we took the train and the bus towards this area and walked towards that castle. And walked from the castle to here, so we can catch the sunset. Which we'll enjoy for a few minutes before we make our way down this path before it gets too dark. Nice. We've reached the top of our hike for the sunset, concluding our Naples west side tour.
Yeah, right now we are at Miseno.
Miseno, and you can see the sunset,
Sunset.
which is very pleasant. And a lot of the places we visited today are behind us. So yeah, we're good. Nice, enjoyable day. Seen a lot of stuff. Just going to take it in. I thought it was a fun day. We didn't really do anything too crazy. Just jumped from place to place, and bus to train, and trains the bus, and so on.
And no tourists at all.
No tourists here.
Yeah.
No, people even just look at us funny and asking us if we need directions. We thought we were lost. Which to some extent we were, but we kind of knew what we were doing as far as which bus to take and that kind of thing. We just didn't know when they would show up. Yeah, overall, great little tour of the west side of the city. And yeah, I highly recommend it if someone has the time. They're in Naples to...
in winter.
In winter, yeah, it's winter. Well, you wouldn't know it from the warm weather. Definitely worth it. So yeah, I'll leave you the thought of the sunset. And this will probably be our last little post because we need to get down the trail before it gets too dark. So there it is.
Naples is definitely more than just Pompeii, Sorrento and Amalfi Coast. We hope you enjoyed watching this video and you could follow our itinerary and plan your next trip in West Naples. Please subscribe to our channel and follow along our journey from Toronto to Hong Kong using public transport. Until then, happy travel!